So tell me, what are your strengths? Not that easy to answer, right? Welcome to Q&A. My name is Bill, the company's expert, and today Maria Torres writes, can you create a video for how to answer what are your strengths? Excellent question, Maria. Thank you very much. Turns out I already have created a video for this. It's called Why Should We Hire You? And a lot of people are surprised to learn that these two questions, they're actually the same question. You give the same answer. You give the answer for why should we hire you when they ask you what are your strengths. Now this is a little unintuitive to most people. Let's examine why that is. If they ask you what are your strengths, what are you going to say? Well, presumably you're going to say a bunch of positive things about yourself that will hopefully persuade them to select you as a candidate. Now, if you think about the other question, why should we hire you? How would you answer that? Well, you answer with the same thing. You're going to be saying, well, you should hire me because, and then you give a bunch of positive things about yourself that will presumably persuade them to select you as a candidate, right? It's the same answer that you give. But Bill, I don't hear you say, these are literally two different questions. They're asking for two different things. And technically, you're right. Now, here's the less intuitive part. When they ask you, what are your strengths? What are you going to do there? Well, presumably, you're going to start rattling off a bunch of positive things about yourself that you consider strengths, right? Now, the danger is that you might consider these things strengths, but how do you know that the interviewer considers that a strength? Let me give you an example. Let's say I was in a job interview and the interviewer asked me, Bill, what are your strengths? And I said something like, well, let's see, the great thing about me is that I make very good decisions. I take the time to do my research, to think things through. I don't buckle to pressure. I take the time necessary, and when I do make a decision, it's the right decision. That's my strength. So I say something like this, and to me, that's a good thing. But let's pretend that I was interviewing for a job that was in a fast-paced environment, and they want people to seize opportunities. They want people to go, 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 go. You know, there's no time for thinking about things too much. And when they hear my answer, they think, well, that's not a strength. That's actually a weakness. We don't want someone like that. We want someone that's going to move quickly and get things done and not take forever thinking through things. So I'm sorry, but we're going to go with somebody else. Okay, and that's the danger you run. You think it's a strength, but they think it's a weakness. So the question is, how can we know what the interviewer will consider a strength and what they're wanting to hear? Well, they've given it right to us. It's the job requirements, okay? This is the great thing. In the job posting, they've got a list of the requirements, and these are the things that they're looking for. Okay, these are the things that they've said publicly, this is what we're looking for. And you go down the job requirements, they say things like, well, we want 5 years experience in this. We want this educational qualification. We want familiarity with this software and so on. Okay? So those are the things that they consider strengths. Now let's look at how we answered the other question, why should we hire you? Okay? If you watch my video on that, which I highly encourage you to do, it's actually, I think, my most popular video. If you watch that video, how do we answer, why should we hire you? Well, the way to do that was to go down their list of requirements and explain how you satisfy each one. So when they ask you, why should we hire you? You would say, well, you should hire me because, well, first of all, I have 5 years experience in this. I do have this educational qualification and I am familiar with this software and so on, right? And that's why you should hire me. That's the same answer that you would give for what are your strengths? What are your strengths? Well, the great thing about me is that I have 5 years experience in this. I have this educational qualification and I am familiar with this software. And those are what I consider to be my strengths. right? Now, when they hear that, this is when, you know, inside, they're shouting for joy and doing cartwheels and stuff because you're telling them exactly what they're looking for. So that's why these two questions are really the same question. And the answer to what are your strengths is the same answer as for why should we hire you? Okay? So go and watch my video on why should we hire you. I will put a link in the description. Hopefully that is somewhat useful. Thank you very much for these intelligent questions. Keep them coming. I will see you guys on the next one. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, you are awesome. Take care.